Okay, so I'm going to present my screen so that we can see. So we're reviewing over past, present, and future because this week we're learning about that. So we're going to look at the PowerPoint slide, okay? All right, does everybody see the PowerPoint slide? Give me a thumbs up silently. Does everybody see it? Awesome. Roxton and Clinton, if you can click your camera button, that way I can see y'all. Okay. And Braxton also. All right, so keep it on, okay? All right, so now we're going to learn about past, present, and future. So let's go ahead and go over them. So it says past is having existed or taken place in a period before the present time. The present time means now. So it is before the present time. So that means it was yesterday, or you can use the word then, like back then. So that's past. Present, yeah, the olden days. The present is being or going on now, not past or future. Example, today, now, Mrs. Fullington is teaching you social studies, right? So that is the present. Future is what is going to happen later on. So it says examples of the future is tomorrow, not now or before, but the next day, right? So that it hasn't happened yet, but it plans on happening in the future. Oh, we're doing our pledges, so go ahead and stand, guys, if you're at home.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, 2nd of September. Language today is Spanish. I apologize for the timing of the message. We're doing troubleshooting. Would you please stand for the pledges? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and all the
and
way
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
the pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Would you please remain standing for a moment of silence? Thank you. You may be seated. Teachers, we would take count of what shirts we have available to us today, the ones we are seeing. I saw a lot of N&M Commerce today, but there could simply be some North Texas, and of course I did see one UT. So if you'll send me your counts for college shirts, today for lunch we have chicken tenders, corn on the cob, carrot coins, breadstick, and apples. I hope you all have a great day.
Like chicken nuggets, but they're chicken strips. So chicken, music, and PE today.
So just rice art. I knew you would go to PE. I didn't even see it there because I wanted to wear pants. But now I knew it was PE. So
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got an A&M, we have a Sooners, Texas A&M Commerce, and Texas Longhorns.
No, I know.
Yep, it says Texas across yours. It says Texas? Oh, your hair's in your way. It's jackets. Yours is Texas A&M.
What's that mean?
It's another school.
He's wearing
He's wearing a jacket.
We knew we were wearing jackets.
That's okay. I thought it looked like Texas Longhorns because of the E. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue social studies. So that was past, present, and future. So now we're going to focus on today. So today is a little new. All right, so what are we learning today?
Timelines.
So guys at home, what are we learning today? Timelines. So I'm going to go ahead and get our new skill that we're going to be learning in social studies today. We're going to read it. So here's our new skill. This is called our I can statements. Do you see our I can statement? It's a little bit different. It's similar to the one we've known. Now we're learning, it says, I can create and understand timelines for events in the past and the present. So now we're not focusing on the future today. We're only focusing on the past and the present. And we're going to create a timeline together. Well, actually, Mrs. Fullington's going to create a timeline to show you what you're going to do. And then you're going to create a timeline of your life. Okay? Yes.
We used to do timelines in first grade.
Uh-huh. So you're going to do one in second grade too. And you will do one in third grade because Miss Fullington was a third grade teacher. And you'll learn a lot about timelines too there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. So here is timelines. You'll see. So what is a timeline? A timeline tells a story. It is a calendar of events that are recorded or in order of when they happened. It is a tool that helps us to know when important events have happened. So, do we use a timeline? Let's see. Yes, we do. We use it to show the events of a person's life. It shows us important events in history. And it also is to sequence or to put in order things that have happened already. Okay. It says, how do we make timelines? We need to think of important events. Then we need to write them in order that they happened. Then we need to use labels to tell us when the events happened. We include relevant titles. So you have to put a title on this. So just like a map in a book, you have to have a title for your timeline. And you also want to include pictures or symbols. So if Mrs. Fullington was a doctor, what do you think, what kind of symbol would I use to be a doctor? What symbols, what pictures? So Clinton, what's one example of a picture that I could use for being a doctor? Oh no, he hung up on himself. Okay, let's try it again. So Harlow, go ahead. What could I use a picture or a symbol for a doctor?
You can draw yourself.
Mm-hmm. So Clinton, why don't you go ahead and share yours, sweetie? What pictures could I use for a doctor?
A cross line.
A cross sign? Yeah, the Red Cross. Yeah, I could use that. Or how many of y'all have seen like a Germex bottle? You know, for like Nurse Miss Josie. You know, she uses the little Germex bottle. Or maybe a stethoscope, you know, that thing that helps, the instrument that helps you listen to your heart. Those are some things or a Band-Aid. Yeah. So those pictures can also represent. But what about a teacher? What could I use for a teacher? Harlow?
You can draw the classroom.
Well, that'd be too much. What is one thing I could draw?
You can draw yourself as a teacher.
Okay, myself. Christopher, what could I draw? The desk, maybe. What else could I draw? Mackenzie?
You teaching.
Me teaching? What is one thing, one item that I could use to represent a teacher?
The board.
Not the board. Omar? Not students.
A ruler to point out the stuff.
A pointer?
Like
You're close. Not quite. Emery?
a ruler.
Oh, yeah, she said a ruler. So I could use that. Oh, you said a ruler? Okay, so Bella and Emery could say, yes, I could write a ruler if I was a math teacher, right? Aaliyah, what do you think I could use to be a teacher?
A globe.
A globe. Yeah, that's a good one.
Does it have
So I haven't heard this one yet. A pencil, maybe, or a crayon. Maybe an apple, because Miss Fullington is a teacher, so normally an apple kind of represents a teacher almost. So those are some symbols. An apple.
Where? Oh!
So those are some symbols that I could probably use in my timeline, and we could definitely add that in my timeline later when we make Mrs. Fullington's. So it says here, it says, write as neatly as possible. We are creative. So when you're doing a timeline, make sure you have your best handwriting and your neatest organizing thoughts on the paper. And I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? All right.
Like we did when we were a baby. And
Ready to see some examples?
Oh, yeah.
So here's some examples of timelines. So we have an explorer's timeline. That's our title. So we know that this explorer, he used a boat back in the day. These are the dates. So he has 1580, 1520, 1498, and 1492. So those are in order from largest to smallest. You know, those dates. He put them in order from the present time to the past. So when you read a timeline, you always start with the earliest date. So it says here, 1492, it says Columbus reaches the New World. And then in 1498, Da Gama reaches India. So that's the boats right here. It's a boat. So here's another timeline. Ready? So this timeline is a Lego brick 50th anniversary timeline. So it tells you when it first was invented in 1932 and the present time that they have come all the way to 2008. So this is an old timeline, but it tells you right here when it starts and when it ends. And it's pretty cool how they invented all of these things.
How can we do that?
You're not going to do as much. You're going to do only 5 events. That's small. All right, so let's think of another one. So here's another timeline. This one's from 1000 BC all the way to 2000 AD. So remember the cavemen? Not the cavemen, it's the Vikings. I think it's the Vikings on this one. Vikings are like soldiers. So they're from like Scotland. So they battle, yes. And so these are examples of timelines. So you see this timeline right here, this little kid drew pictures of his day, but he did it in order. So in the morning, afternoon, or actually this is not this is a story. What story would this might be? The Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, so it tells you the beginning, middle, and end of the story. So you can use a timeline for a story too. Can't you believe that? So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see another one. So this is a kid's drawing. This is similar to what you're going to be doing, but you won't be drawing pictures necessarily this big, but she has 4 events from when she was born till today. And she gave examples of what her timeline was and pictures. And this is almost what yours is going to look like. It says timeline of my life. So this person was born in 1987. And then she said this person got a job at 16 years old. So this is telling her from when she was born all the way to this person was 16 years old.
How can we remember that?
No, but you're not going to be drawing that big of one. This one's another one. This is an arts and crafts or like an artsy one. These are books. So when books were made, the year the books were made is what they put in order. So they have Goodnight Moon, A Fish Out of Water, Henry and Mudge, the kid who ran,
For the president.
I think so, ran for president. And then I don't know this last one that's really, really small. But, or is it, this says the sixth grade something game. So these are books. And then these are actual shows or book characters says the timeline of Sam's media obsession. So it's, I guess, the person who created these little figurines. So they gave timelines of what dates that they created them from. That's kind of cool.
I like Dora shows.
All right, so this one is a teacher's. So it says a timeline of Mrs. Smith's life. Mrs. Smith is born in 1990. Then Mrs. Smith became a teacher and teaches her first class in 2012. And the same year, Mrs. Smith gets married in 2012.
When she was
Mhm.
baby.
This is when she was a baby.
Here.
Uh-huh.
Is it this Miss Smith in our in this school?
No, this is a different Miss Smith. So we will be creating lots of different kinds of timelines throughout this unit. So by the end of this unit, you will know how to use and make a timeline. So this is the end of our timeline. So Mrs. Fullington's going to go over here and we're going to create one. I'm going to create one for myself so that you can see what I've done. Okay.
Are we gonna make one?
Yes, you're going to make one
Today or tomorrow?
today. All right. So this is the same exact timeline that you will be using for yours. So that way Mrs. Fullington can show you how to use one. All right. So right here, my seesaw is a little bit different, so you won't be using mine. But I'm going to just use words. All right, so Mrs. Fullington. I'll put my name, Mrs. Fullington. Oops, I need to capitalize my name. Was born on April 22nd, 1992.
Do we have to do that?
Yep, you're going to do this.
So are we gonna type?
You will type it in Seesaw, yes. That's a good question. So I have your birthdays if you need them, okay?
I do.
All right, so this is the first event in Mrs. Fullington's life. This is her, when she was born in April 1992. So right now, Mrs. Fullington is 28 years old.
What?
Yeah, I'm 28. So a next thing in my life that was very, very important was probably when I started school. I started school in, so I'll say Mrs. Fullington started school in, let's see, 1996. That's when I started school because that was when I was in kindergarten. This is when I started kindergarten.
Do
Yep.
I have to write when we started kindergarten?
You can't, well, it doesn't have to necessarily be like that. You can do different events than Mrs. Fullington. I'm just showing you an example. And then here, I'm going to put Mrs. Fullington.
I love your name.
Oops.
You forgot to capitalize your name.
Graduated from high school.
Wait, can we graduate when we graduated kindergarten?
You can put that. That's a very important event because then it goes back to grade school, right? Graduated high school in 2010.
What?
Mm-hmm. That was 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
And then now, this is the next one. I can say that, let's see,
What does that band mean?
Mrs. Fullington started college. Well, let's say, yes, Mrs. Fullington,
What is that? Why do you have to write your name?
because people don't know who I am.
Yeah, it says it on the other one.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Fullington started college in 2012. Oops. So 2 years later, Miss Fullington started college.
What is Fullington? What's that band that was on the back? In 2009.
Oh, no, not 2000. It's 2011 is when I started college.
In 2019, were we in kindergarten? Yeah.
I believe so. Because you're in second grade. 2018, I believe.
How do you know us anyways? that we didn't even
All right, here I can put Mrs. Fullington graduated college.
What graduated?
Nope, I said started.
Oh.
So Mrs. Fullington started college in 2011, and then I graduated in 2016.
You already said that.
But that I graduated high school. So that's the end of school here in Ferris for y'all would be graduated in high school.
Oh.
So
Someone's gotta talk.
Mrs. Fullington graduated college. Oops.
Wait, what's your title?
Oh, I have to put that down too. Good thinking. Mrs. Fullington graduated college in 2016. 2016.
I was born in 2013.
And then I can put here as my important event. So I can stop at 2017. This is when Mrs. Fullington got married.
Ooh, wait. Ooh, I was. Yeah, do that one. You know. Oh, I got a good one for that last one for me.
2017. So you see how Mrs. Fullington put some important events in her life? I do have to add, just like Mackenzie said, a title. So I'm going to come over here and put a different color.
Do
And I'm going to
say Miss
gonna make this like 30. Yep, I'm going to say Mrs.
Wow.
Fullington's timeline. Like that. So I can put that, so I can stretch it out. Just like in Seesaw, you can stretch out your, I'm going to put my title right here at the bottom. So you see how Mrs. Fullington created her timeline? It was super easy. You just have to think of important events for yourself. You only need, well, this one has 6 important events. 6 important events.
How much do we get?
6
Do we do 5?
instead of 5. I miscounted. It's 6. So you're going to have 6 different important events for yourself. So you can start when you first started kindergarten, or you can start when you were born, like Mrs. Fullington did. And I can give you your birthdays. If the kids online, if you need your birthday, just stay on and I can give you yours, okay? All right. So now I'm going to show you how to get on to Seesaw.
Well, don't do married
So-
because.
Yeah. Don't do married because you're all not married.
Yeah.
So, right here.
Yeah, so don't do married. I never want to get married. Why? When you have kids, you won't have anyone to help you. I never want to get married anyways. I will. What? You will? Christopher's gonna get married. Mackenzie, everybody does. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
not
here we are.
everyone.
Can everybody see the seesaw?
Yes. Yes.
How about you guys at home? Okay. So right here, let me go ahead. So right here, you're going to activities. Ooh.
Yeah, that's my
Here it is, my timeline. So yours is only 5.
Yay.
I think yours is only 5. Yeah, yours is only 5. Mine was 6. Mine was a little bit different. I think Mrs. Fullington put the harder one for myself. So you guys only need 5. So it says here, what you're going to do is you're going to put your title here. You put your name and date. So today's date is September 2nd, right?
Yes.
And my name would be Mrs. Fullington at the top, and I would put my title here. So yes. So direction says fill in the timeline going in chronological order. Chronological order means in order. So remember, Miss Fullington started when she was born, and then she stopped at 2017, which was about 3 years ago, right? So I stopped there, but you can start right now when you started school in 2nd grade, right?
Second grade or first?
Or 1st grade, yes. You can stop wherever you like. So you only need 5, and when you're done, you're going to press the green check mark. So this is what it looks like in the seesaw. So I'm going to pretend I'm a student. So see here, you can use your text right here. Oops. So No, I'm not doing it again. So right here is where you can put your,
You are doing it.
so you can put your text in here just like Mrs. Floynton did, or I can put the, my title here.
Up there.
Mm-hmm. And I can put Mrs. Fullington's
Timeline.
timeline.
Are we gonna do that?
Yep, you're going to do that. You're going to say Mackenzie's timeline or Rolando's timeline.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. So that's my title. And then you're going to start adding your things. So remember, when you're done, you're going to press that green check mark. And then that's all you're going to do for social studies. Okay, guys?
But how can I remember all of that
You'll
stuff?
be okay. I can help you. All right, guys. Stay on if you need your birthday.
I need
If
my
you don't, you may log out.
birthday. I need my birthday.